Guess I'm just asking a fundamental question about the nature of music. Like, if a human writes a song and then has an AI work on it and modify it, does that make it does that make it AI? You know, at its core, because I mean, this is a reflective question, and I guess it's one that's subject to personal interpretation. Because there's no clear and objective answer to that. If you ask me, I mean, it's a matter of like what your take on shit is. I mean, everybody can have their own opinion about that, and everybody's answer is just as valid as everybody else's, because there's no right or wrong answer to that question. If a machine, if an AI works on your music and improves it somehow, does that make it automatically, AI music at the end of the day? If or if an AI, generates the original and you modify it, a little bit to make it more, human like and everything in your output in that way, does that, if you put sufficient work in it, does it still belong to the AI? I mean, these are questions that we should be asking ourselves about, that and that disclaimer, the way that it's worded allows quite a bit of wiggle room to allow for the facilitation of an artificial intelligence that insists things, because it's not saying ultimately that the AI is the one that's responsible for the original piece of work. They're even pointing out that there was an artist at the core that decided to guide the AI professionally in a specific direction towards the production of this content, which, so that all leaves open questions, that are subject to personal interpretation. At the end of the day, I mean, is this AI music because of the fact that an AI has been brought in, to the conversation that generated the song in the first place? These are all things that I'm starting to ask myself, and everything, and I'm starting to lean, more in the no camp, like, yeah, the AI played a role, and maybe it deserves a little bit of the credit here, but it's not ultimately responsible for it. Plus, if I have an AI generate the melody and then I sing to it, I still deserve credit for being the singer. you know, and I think Ann Bloom is singing.